You walk into the dealership, admiring all the cars, admiring how it looks, the model, getting that Mustang. It's freaking sweet, driving off the lot. But you fail to realize it depreciates as soon as you drive it off, right? No matter if a car has 2,000 miles or 20 miles on it, it still depreciate. But it gets us by this symbol, the Mercedes Benz, the BMWs, the Chevrolets, all these type of things. But you needed to get it from point A to point B. What I learned is this: always, number one, be mindful and look at the interest rates. Make sure you have decent credit. I'm talking about, nigga, if your credit at least be like 630, 700 and up. If you like in a 540, 550, or you like 445 trying to get a card, or you have zero, no credit, they're gonna hit you with at least an 18%. Easy, maybe 25% tops. And say you're trying to get a car right for like $13,000. That's how much it costs. You have no credit, okay? Because I'm just speaking from experience. This happened to me like 4 or 5 years ago. So, but you go in there, but zero credit, and you sign the papers and everything. And they say, okay, well your payment's gonna be 126. Boom, boom. You thinking that's a month? That's like every week. So that's gonna add up to about like $505 a month. So you're paying over like $500 a month. That's not even including insurance because you have zero credit. But little to knowledge that I had back then, I was just thinking that, hey, well, if you had no credit, they're gonna deny you with a car. Well, at least I have a vehicle and they approved it because I showed my pay stubs that I was all rocking and rolling. But at the end, financially, man, it's like a little hold on you, man, because you're paying like they're gonna double the value of the car, like it's worth $13,000, and they're gonna set up payments that you're paying a car that's worth like $25,000, and over like your lease term, you want to at least sign at least a 2-year lease. And that's if you want to start leasing. Now, financing it, I'm not. I guess I have never financed a car, but they say that's like the better route. You actually pay on payments and you actually, own it. You own the title to your car and you can do whatever you want with it. The only downside with the car is that, if you're a type of person that loves to get new cars each and every single time, that's why people go to the leasing agreements a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be responsible of the maintenance, of the oil, the brakes, make sure the motor pads are really good, the mufflers, all these things, man. And you think like, wow, man, like, because if it goes wrong, this is my ride. Like, how can I get from point A to point B? How can I get to work? Like, it's this. You gotta understand too. Like, before you start signing that name, like, okay, your name on that contract is, I'm gonna use this car just to go to work. I'm gonna use this car as my enjoyment. What I'm using this car for, or for to start my business up. I mean, because leasing, according to Dave Ramsey, he said that when you lease a car, that's the most important thing. Like, far as if you're starting a business, don't otherwise do not lease. That's the most expensive way to actually try to purchase a vehicle, because at the end of the day, you're paying all these payments, and just like you throwing money away. It's like renting. You don't own it at the end of the day. It's just temporarily satisfy you of your mission. That's why it's important that you use a car like leasing if you're just making it for a commercial for a certain period of time, and you're gonna make a whole bunch of money afterwards. In the meantime, it's probably good to like go to like a different auction, save up like two, three, $4,000, and just have the car in your name. All you have to do is worry about the insurance, because when you think about it, is even if you have good credit, say you pay for something for like 300 or $400 a month, and next year I say that's 400 a little expensive. I'll say probably like people who have like 730 credit might pay like two something a month, maybe, if that. The highest is three something, but that's not even including insurance. So you gotta think about too how old you are, because and then your region, your demographic. Because I know in Detroit they have the largest, the most expensive car insurance rate. I mean, you gotta make sure you have like health insurance. It's on top of that. They ask for that, before they actually approve you for car insurance. And how old are you? Because that plays a factor. If you're over the age of 25, you're 25 years old. Okay, that's a little decent. You might have a little different rate. And if you're not, you probably want to be best to have someone lined up that you can pretty much be with, or you can be on their type of insurance and assign. And therefore, you just had a little certificate, so when you get pulled over, you just use that certificate. But at the same time, most people have no fault. And the thing about no fault is that it doesn't really fully cover your car. And you want to get full coverage on the vehicle. I don't care how old it is, you got to get full coverage on the vehicle. And yeah, it may be a little more expensive, but at the end of the day, it will help you in the long run because back in 2018, I want to say this was late January, and this was the turning point in my life. I mentioned this in the interview before, but when I got into a car accident, man, this dude just rear-ended me and kept going. I experienced a divine intervention because I didn't fall out the windshield. I had no broken bones. Yeah, my back was a little sore. I just kept on going. I had a tow truck to tow the car and everything. That was like a few $100s, man. And I think I was on my grandmother's insurance at the time, and then on top of that too, I'm just now getting it. Like it's supposed to be like finished like probably sometime this week, but man, it was so expensive because at the end of the day I had to get like different quotes and stuff, and it was still drivable, but the rear end part of the car was just tore up, man. I mean, seriously, it's like freaking Goku did like a freaking spirit bomb on the rear end of my car. That literally how it looked, man. It was just pretty bad. But I was going back and forth to work with a raggedy car, man. But and what I learned is that it's important to get your own insurance, like even before you start leasing a car, because you don't want to start overpaying for a vehicle and to the point that you can't really do anything. You struggling to pay bills, you struggling to like put food on the table, go to school. It's little things, man, and luxuries as well, man, if you want to go out to different places. And it's really hard to save money. I say the only way, like I stated before, to lease a car, got a business, you got a lot of money saved up, and you just using that temporary, you just gonna turn it in. Or you are a type of individual, you just don't like you get tired of cars over a while, sign a 2-year lease and make sure your credit is outstanding to the point that you have a low APR. And that's pretty much it, man. Look at the interest rate, because when you get into these car companies, you want to negotiate with them. They want you to just look at the model of it. Oh man, the engine, it look nice. V8 engine, it's looking sweet. I got the GPS system, it look nice, man. At the end of the day, you sign that contract, boom, they got you. And it's kind of hard to get out of finance lease car, man. So I mean, at least a contract at the end of the day when you sign all those papers. So you're gonna read, take your time. I don't care if they get frustrated with you, because the purpose of the car salesman is to make money for the car company, and therefore the many sales he get, the more money he gets, and he get promoted. So it's all the game, it's all the system trying to get these cars out of here, get them up and running. That's the whole game, and they doing it with a great sales pitch. I will say this: be mindful of what you do, and be mindful of these contracts. Read it, understand it. Do not co-sign with anyone, because at the end of the day, you co-sign with an individual, then you're responsible for the payments, because they don't come to you. Oh, Johnny missed his payments. He's 3 weeks behind. So, Jonathan or Mr. Smith, you co-signed this. This your friend here. I mean, you're responsible as well. So next, it's gonna get on your credit. But I will say the good thing about this is that when you lease a car, you can build up credit. I see why people do it, because it's a little easier way of doing it. And if you're really not too sure if you're gonna keep a vehicle, then yeah, you can lease it, but just be smart about it. And that's what I learned. Some people probably already know this information already, but this is for the people like, kids 19, 20, even your 30s and 40s, man. Like you're trying to get a vehicle and you don't want to understand, like, you don't want to get messed over. I'll say, for the down payment, at least save up like $2,000. I put down like a $1,400 down payment. And I think because I had like zero credit, if you had no credit, you don't have to really put nothing down, but you will, like, for the first, I think they will set you up sometimes for like the first month or two, like you have lower payments. And two, if you pay it ahead of time, when you get that lease payment, at least your credit score will boost up. And that's important, because that can help you in the long run to get homes and convention loans, mortgage loans, all these good things. But just be kind of smart economically if you want to go out here and lease a vehicle. Make sure you have full coverage insurance. Make sure your credit is great. Okay, look at the interest rates. Get something like a 2016, something like a 3 or 2 or 4-year-old car. They're going to try to get you the newest car, the newest car available. It's all cool, but I say just be kind of modest in a way, man. You here to get from point A to point B. Don't get like a piece of crap. I understand that, but you don't want it to break down. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about you setting yourself up to be financially great at the end of the day. And me learning about this, it sounded like a 2015. I just got out of my lease. I paid my lease off. It was a 4-year lease. I'm like, oh man, like, but at first when I had the car, it was a great car. It's a Chrysler 200 2013. It was a nice. I got it in 2015 and back in August, late August. And I was just like, man, this is nice. It drives nice. It's good. I had to, take care of the brakes because I signed that piece of paper that I am responsible for the maintenance of the vehicle. You gotta be mindful of that as well. I mean, if something goes down, like, can you take it to your dealership and can they fix it? If you need a new oil change, can they fix that? Can they reimburse you? Brakes, all that stuff, man. I mean, what's going on? Transmission fluids. I mean, I gotta think about all the different mechanics of the vehicle. Like, would they help you out with that at the end of the day, man? Then on top of that too, man, if they give you a 2 month, most dealerships give you like a 2 month or 3 month just grace period, to help you get caught up before they send a tow truck. Because when they send a tow truck, at the end of the day, you still got to pay your car. So what? Yeah, it can really make or break you at the end of the day, man. So don't get caught up in just driving clean and all that stuff, man. I understand you don't care, so you guys want to do that as well, because I was in that moment, but now I got a little more knowledgeable, have a little more wisdom on how these car companies work. Just have a good nice cushion, man, because when you get